Road to Glory, Year 6, draft complete, post draft video, 12 days until kickoff. Preseason basically out of the way, one more day. Preseason's over. Epic draft last night. Atmosphere was electric. Um, that draft was hilarious. So I'm gonna go over the draft, what I think about the teams, losers and winners, maybe. I think honestly, I don't think there's any like off god awful like team. I mean, the keepers made it interesting. Everyone's got a good player that they needed, help them out in the draft. Um, so I'll probably go over the draft rosters, report cards, and we'll see. So I am gonna go with the draft. We'll go over like a couple rounds, draft results. So yeah, I went Jamar 1. I feel like I could just talk about the rosters at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Go to rosters. We'll look at everyone's team. All right, so obviously I had the one spot. Jamar was my guy. Had to go with. I had run a couple scenarios in like my draft thing, where if I took him or if I took Eckler, what players do I think I could get? And it ended up working out. I needed a receiver. I already had a running back. Happy with the decision. Um, I was looking there. I really was very close to taking Ramondre in round 3. I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna take Josh Allen. My quarterback killed me last year. Honestly, if I had Mahomes the whole year last year instead of drafting Brady, probably would have been in the playoffs. I lost so many games because of my QBs. Is what it is. Aaron Jones, I shut on Aaron Jones. Tigaligo and Andrew. I just he had dropped like I didn't think he would be there in round 5, so I was like, I need a running back. I'm gonna take him. Um, I like DJ Moore. He's the number one. Um, he had some good highlights today in the preseason. Looks like he's just gonna be a playmaker. Was willing to run the table. Mike Williams, I really hope the Chargers stay healthy. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, great receivers. Quentin Johnson's going to be really good. Good offense, good quarterback. You want to take good QBs when your receivers. Tomorrow's Burrow, Fields, maybe. We don't know yet. Herbert. So, tight end. I think me and Japes were like the last people to take a tight end. I actually took Fryermuth before Njoku, but I don't trust Fryermuth enough, so I was going to take a backup anyways. Njoku, I actually think he could be wicked good with Watson. Look good in the preseason today. My flex, I got Godwin. I mean, I know Japes drafted Evans. Godwin and Evans are two really good receivers. They have to get the ball, like no matter who the quarterback is. Baker's like he's bad, but like it could be worse. So, you know, it's not like they're never gonna catch a touchdown. Like they're not gonna catch passes. The ball's gonna go to them all the time. Um, Obviously Fryermuth. I don't like him week 1 though. Dalvin Cook. If Brees Hall's hurt, I really love this pick. I really love that pick. If Brees Hall somehow, you know, could be really good if that's the case. Um, Hollywood, yeah, no D Hop. I was just looking to fill a spot. He's the number one receiver. Is what it is. If Kyler plays or Kyler doesn't, still a number one receiver. So I'm okay with that. Antonio Gibson, I just needed a backup running back behind Cook. Um, I know he's like projected 13. That's just because he's the only B Rob doesn't really catch passes. Gibson could. I don't really expect anything out of Gibson. Obviously Tua's my backup QB that I'm okay with if he's healthy. Justin Tucker I took. Just consistent. I think him and Carlson are like the two top kickers for fantasy. So I think I was the first one to take a kicker too. Let's see. I was the first one to take a defense. Took San Fran. Hopefully both the signs. They were really good last year. Second or third highest scoring defense. Um, took the Patriots, I think, like the next round. They had the most points last year. I really don't like their schedule at all. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but they always seem to like find a way to score. I don't know. I'm okay. I could base it on matchups. I'm good with that. Um, defensive players, I kind of just took them as like my last picks. I'm a little mad that Andrew took Fusai Khan. I really like him. I actually thought about taking Nick Bolton too. I think McGill took him. But, Duggar was good last year. Poyer, he was not healthy last year, I think, at some point. You know, Edwards is going to be good. Roquan's not there now. He was really good last year. And Jordan Hicks, Eric Kendricks is gone now. So he's going to be their guy at linebacker. So that's my team. I'm happy with it. I'm just glad I got a QB. Um, thought about taking Mondre. Just wanted to get my QB out of the way. My whole plan, I wanted Mahomes. If Mahomes was there, he was going. But it seemed like Hill was going to take him. If I didn't, McGill might have taken him. So I don't think that was going to be a possibility. So Brett, um, yeah, the draft. So the draft definitely threw me off than what I had predicted. Obviously, first round Brett, Cup was his keeper. Brett's second round went Devontae Smith. So basically, in every mock that I had up until the day of the draft, I had Brett taking Amon Ra. I did not think he was going to go, but like I thought Amon Ra was going to go like to Galigo, but Japes pulled it out. Ended up taking him. Brad got Hurts, great QB to have. He's probably going to get over 100 yards against the Pats. Hurts, Allen, Mahomes, I think are the top three to get. Obviously, if Cup's healthy, he was on pace for ridiculous stats last year. Just it's going to come down to it's going to come down to his health. Him and Stafford. Devontae Smith, I like him a lot. 95 catches last year. I think he's going to get better and better as it goes. So that was a good pick. Jerry Judy, I know you were like, screw it. I'll stash him until he's healthy. He's just always hurt. That's the problem with him. Um, Najee's a good pick. I think where you got him. I'm gonna say you got him fourth round. So nothing wrong with that. James Conner's gonna be like their bell cow. Um he's like the only running back on Arizona. Obviously, Kittle was good with Purdy last year. I mean, once he was healthy, he was wicked good. And then can Miles Sanders produce with that shit O line? I mean, you could end up starting like, well, actually, you're probably gonna start either, yeah, probably Quentin Johnson, for Judy, but I'm gonna guess that Brett's basing his defense every week. Obviously, Washington playing Arizona. Brett took my two DBs that I was gonna take. I wanted Jenkins and Hufanga, Jordan Brooks. So not bad from Brett. Um, I'm not gonna go over like matchups this week. I'm gonna do that like next week. I'm just gonna focus on the draft in this video. CD's nuts. Mirando. All right, so Mirando, 8th pick. I think in every draft I had Miranda taking AJ Brown at 8. Miranda flips it. He goes CeeDee Lamb. Also, good pick. I think he'll end up getting more catches. I think his stats might be better. Um, but Miranda went CeeDee, and then second round he had Kelsey as his keeper, best tight end, easy choice. Third round, Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm hearing a lot of good things from Jahmyr Gibbs. Did you go Jahmyr Gibbs? I'm gonna say you went Jahmyr Gibbs and then Mixon. So Jahmyr Gibbs is supposed to be like ridiculous out of the backfield, catching wise too. The hype's there for him now. So hopefully he's that guy. Joe Mixon, P Ryan's out of there, so I like him. Obviously, Fields running QB is gonna get you a lot of points. He was easily one of the top QBs towards the end of last year because it was rushing 1,100 yards, 8 TDs on the ground. Scary Terry is a little concerning. Turf toe. I don't know if he's playing week 1, but hopefully he's healthy. Christian Kirk. Oh, Mirando. Miranda, you got to give me him, dude. It was such a tough choice between him or Godwin and Mike Williams. Oh, I need a Jag on my team. Okay, I either need Ingram, Ridley, Christian Kirk. Miranda, you're giving me Christian Kirk at some point. Oh, I'm mad about that. Christian Kirk's gonna be good still. I think he's under the radar because of Ridley. Elijah Moore. I don't know what to think about him. He actually got some work in the preseason game today with Watson. I saw a couple completed passes and stuff. Kamara back from suspension. If he's normal, that might be a steal. Michael Thomas, if he's healthy, maybe. If Michael Thomas is healthy, that's interesting on that offense. Jets defense is good. Tough matchup week 1 against Buffalo. I mean, the defensive players are kind of hard to judge. I think you had L'Jarius Sneed last year. I think he was one of the top DBs to have. I know you had Nick Bolton last year too. So Logan Wilson, Cole Holcomb. Yeah, not a bad team either. I mean, none of the teams are bad. Like, Hilda King, Evan changed his thing again, his profile picture. I think Evan had a good draft too. Lamar. All right, so first round, Evan went Henry. When did I know he was going to take Henry? I don't know. I kind of had the funny feeling going into the draft Henry was going to be your pick. So Henry got picked. Next round, you went Waddle. Then did you pick Ridley or Lamar? Either way, they went back to back. So Lamar QB, like it. He's like probably the 4th, but his week 1 he could explode. Waddle I like. Ridley I like. Garrett Wilson, 3 really good receivers right there. Got King Henry, got Dobbins. I mean, Dobbins is supposed to be their lead back. He's got to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, that whole offense is healthy. It's a good pick. Kyle Pitts, I did not. Oh, I didn't even know that you picked Kyle Pitts. Yeah, we'll see. A lot of talent for a shit QB, and then Drake London too. Drake London was good last year, so I don't know. I think James Cook is good. Jordan Addison, I think, is a really good pick. If they start doubling Jefferson, that he could be in for a big role. Pittsburgh defense versus the Niners. Jalen Petrie, really good year last year. Zaire Franklin, Kevin Byard. So Bosa. Yep, we love Bosa. We need Bosa to sign his contract. But Evan, really good draft. I have a fat bass. Stupid name. All right, so Andrew Jettis, first round keeper. Yep. Second round Jacobs. It's gonna look like Jacobs might have paid off. Signed his contract today. I think Andrew's probably feeling good about that pick now. Doesn't have to worry about that. All right, let's look at Andrew. This dude drafted T-Law. Now, I don't know what it is, but this kid has, to me, been a T-Law hater. He's drafted him in 2 leagues. He's got to mean something. You know, haters hate, but he's a good QB at the end of the day. So, um, obviously Jefferson at 9, he's gonna ruin Tampa. Like literally, he's gonna destroy Tampa. So second round Jacobs, then Debo. I thought Ramondre was gonna be the pick there for Andrew. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. Keenan Allen, if Keenan Allen's healthy, he's good. I mean, when he came back from injury last year, he was a beast. Um, if Madison really is the lead back, which I think he is, I mean, Madison was good. Madison is good. Like, he's not an awful RB2 to have. Waller, I mean, apparently Waller's looked insane in the preseason, and he's going to be like their main guy, so that he could end up popping off. No Kamara, Jamal Williams, lead back in New Orleans, going to get all the goal line touches and stuff until Kamara comes back. I mean, 17 touchdowns last year is ridiculous. Even David Montgomery could have a similar role to Jamal too. Goal line back in Detroit. I think Gibbs is a smaller back. He's more like their pass catcher third down. So Montgomery could be in line for a decent amount of touchdowns. You get Brandon Cooks off the bench. Philly defense at New England. Yep, might not be a bad start. And then of course you son of a bitch took Foysayalu Khan, of course. Roquan, yep, of course Andrew took his linebackers when in doubt. Buckner, Chris Jones might be out for like 8 weeks, maybe. Isaiah Simmons and Minka. So yeah, good team too. I like it. So we're at Jerking Goff, Ethan. All right. So in all of my mocks, I never had Ethan, I think, getting Eckler. I didn't think Ethan was going to get Eckler. So, Eckler and Pollard, that's a nasty running back duo. That's pretty sick. That's a dope running back room. Second round, Ethan shocked it again, just like in our other draft. Mac took Mahomes. I mean, number one point scorer last year. So DK, you know, he could have a pretty good week against the Rams too. No Ramsey either. Mari Cooper, I'm gonna like this year. Dotson, I don't know about yet. I mean, he's gonna be wide receiver one if McLaurin's out. So I think like Hawkinson, without Thielen, his targets are gonna go up, especially in the red zone. So I think he's gonna be a good tight end. And I love Ayuk. Him and Kittle played really well with Purdy last year. Cam Akers I like as a backup RB. Zay Flowers, from what I've seen in the preseason, he could be a stud too. Sit down here. Zay Flowers could be a stud. Let's see. P Ryan, if Javonte Williams gets hurt again, he could be a stud. He's a good receiving back. Sam Laporta, I've heard really good things about Laporta. Um, he's going to be their starting tight end. Carlson. Oh, I thought Brett got him. Oh, Ethan got Carlson. Baltimore against Houston week 1. Jesus. Man, Chin Bates, I like. Mad Max, number one D lineman last year. Fred Warner. Yeah, so I really think Ethan's team's not as bad as like people kind of made it sound. I mean, he's got two really good backs. He's got Mahomes, Metcalf, and Cooper. Like Cooper is gonna be like I think he's gonna be good too. So back to Galigo. So we had Galigo with Tyreek as the keeper. Yep. First round, Diggs falls to Galigo. Didn't think that was gonna happen either. Second round, he goes AJ Brown. Dude, Galigo's receiving course tapped. I mean, it's a receivers league too, kind of based on PPR. So, damn, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, number one receiver. Even though he might not get like the most catches, he's gonna get the most touchdowns. That's for sure. So, three number one targets. That's crazy with Herb, and Herb's gonna come alive. If they stay healthy, dude, he's a dark horse. So the running backs is somewhat concerning, but could have huge payoff. Kenneth Walker was a stud last year. Like, I am shocked that they picked a second round running back because like I thought he was filthy last year, so I don't know what's gonna happen with Charbonnet. Javonte Williams, I know P Ryan's there. It should be Williams' backfield to lose if he's healthy. Um, he always gets hurt too. Goddard, I like Goddard, consistent. Um, he's not bad. Good offense, he's gonna get his chances. Then we get George Pickens. I mean, Pickens is talking a big game. Apparently, like he said he's gonna have a huge year. We'll see what Pickett does and with him in that offense and Deontay and the target shares and how that will all work. So Najiba, I mean, you could store him on IR, get an extra roster spot when he's out, if he's out. But another good offense that he's in. OBJ could be a sneaky dark horse this year. I like Dallas's defense. I had them last year. CJ Mosley, I was gonna pick him too. Not bad from Aiden Hutchinson too. So it's a good draft too. Nihil. I know Nihil went the opposite strategy than he anticipated. So Nihil McCaffrey, yep, keeper first round. Did you take Taylor in the second round or Olave? Nah, shit. Yeah, okay, so you took Taylor. Okay. So, Taylor, big risk, big reward if something happens. Apparently he has until Tuesday to get traded. He was allowed to seek a trade. They want a first for him. It's not going to happen. So he has until Tuesday, I think, to get a trade. And then you took Olave. I like Olave. He was good last year. Derek Carr's a better QB that he's going to have. Brees Hall, if he's healthy, I mean, Brees Hall was awesome last year. I mean, you had Brees Hall too last year. So, I mean, two risks right here, but could end up being huge payoffs. Pittman's going to be a number one. I mean, he had 99 catches last year. Richardson should get him the ball. I mean, Pittman's, if Taylor doesn't play, he's probably their best offensive position player outside of QB. Deontay, 86 catches last year without a touchdown. That shouldn't happen again, I would think, ever. Cortland Sutton right now is wide receiver one, so he could end up being a good pick. It's DeAndre Swift, I think, will eventually emerge himself as RB1. I mean, you don't just trade for him to not use him. Kadarius Toney could end up being wide receiver one in KC if he's healthy. Butker, Miami, Sauce Gardner, Christian Gonzalez, interesting. Micah Parsons, yep. Frankie Louvu. Christian Wilkins had a good year too. Damn. And Cam Hayward. Go to Japes. Obviously, Japes 10th pick. Devontae Adams. I kind of had a funny feeling eventually he was going to get him. So Devontae, then Japes really shocked me when he went Amon-Ra. Did not see it coming. I thought it was going to be AJ Brown or Mahomes or AJ Brown or Mahomes. Yeah, and he went Amon-Ra. I mean, 106 catches is pretty damn good. So D Hop as wide receiver three is not going to be bad. I mean, he's the number one on that team. I mean, Tannehill's like not bad. I mean, when AJ Brown was there, he was good. I think D Hop's going to be fine. He'll be just fine. And then obviously Nick Chubb is a keeper. I think Stevenson was really a steal when where you got him. I couldn't believe he fell that far because I was contemplating on taking him instead of Allen. So Cole Kmet, he was good second half of the year last year. Then Pacheco was good. I like him. I think he's should be good to go. Like there was some help. He was in uniform, right? So that looks good from him. Obviously, Mike Evans, like I said earlier, him and Godwin got to get the ball. Khalil Herbert should be RB1. AJ Dillon's good too. Rogers backup. Thielen should be wide receiver one, I think. And then Buffalo defense, yep. Yeah, I wanted Derwin too. Damn. Harrison Smith. Javon Hargrave's good. Yep, TJ if he's healthy. Already went over mine, so that leaves McGill. McGill had Damian Pierce as his keeper, so round one. Dude, McGill shocked the world with that one. Where is it? McGill shocked the world with that pick right there. I did not see it coming at all. McGill shocked the world with that pick. McGill shocked the world with that pick. I thought he was going Eckler the whole way. That was crazy. McGill's got some good RBs in his room. He's got a good RB room. Bijan, ETN and I like ETN even more now because Bigsby fumbled in the on the one today, and he was with the starters with T Law. So that might be really good for ETN that Bigsby had fumbled. Like Mark Andrews, I wanted him. I was going to pick him the pick after you. T. Higgins, yep. Watson could be good. I mean, he really could be good. T. Higgins, yep. Lockett, Mr. Lockett, who doesn't get tackled. That's why he's been good. Christian Watson's going to be wide receiver one in Green Bay. It's all going to come down to Jordan Love. I like Rachaad White. He's RB1 too. McGill's got Gill's got 4 RB1s, so yeah, I'm like in the RB room here. Denver defense, Jamal Adams, Marcus Jones, TD, return yards. Will he play offense? I don't know. Um, Nick Bolton, Devin White. Yep. Okay, so report cards. Let's see about the report cards today. So mine said that I got an A plus. Sequad Show drafts their way to glory with an A plus grade and projected first place finish. Thank you, Yahoo. Um, yeah, I'm happy with my draft. So, I mean, there are a lot of moves that a lot of players that people took that I didn't think were that I thought I was going to end up with. But see, my best pick was Aaron Jones. Like I said, I didn't think he was going to drop that far. So I'm not really complaining about having him. So I took him at 40. His average ADP was 34. It says my worst pick was Mike Williams, but I'm okay with that because if he's healthy, he's going to be good. Where I took him at 60, his ADP is 81. So yeah, I did take him a little early, but I'm going to take the ceiling. So said I will be 11-3. I don't know. Obviously, I don't care what this thinks, but it says my best pick, Aaron Jones, my worst pick, Mike Williams. So Mirando had an A. CD's nuts draft their way to glory with stellar performance. Despite picking eighth in the order, they managed to assemble a formidable roster across 22 rounds, projected record of 10-4. Um, Eighth toughest schedule. I think mine said it's sixth. Let's see, best draft pick. Terry, yeah, Terry slid because of his injury. Um, Terry slid a little bit, and then your worst draft pick was Elijah Moore. Let's see. Drafted at 88, well above their ADP of 120. So, but Mirando, CD, Kelsey, Gibbs, Mixon, Fields. Yeah, I like it. I like that. Christian Kirk, Kamara. If he comes back, Michael Thomas, maybe. So, they gave Miranda the A. So then we have Japes, third highest, with a B. Rubadub Chubb scrubs up nicely with solid draft grade and projected finish with a 9-5 record. Japes 10th hardest schedule. Japes' best pick was Joe Burr. Let's see. ADP was 42. Japes got him at 50. So I mean, Andrew took T-Law ahead of him. Didn't see that coming either. Chiefs' worst pick, Mike Evans. Really? I don't. Whatever. It's Mike Evans though, so can't even be mad. 85, but he's Mike Evans. He's never had below 1,000 yards. Baker, like him and Godwin have to get the ball. Like it shouldn't matter. Like those guys are gonna get the ball, so I wouldn't even be worried about that. I have a fat bass. I have a fat bass drafting their way to third place with a B minus grade. In the road to glory, I have a fat bass proves that they might have a fat bass, but they also have fat brains. What the fuck? Andrew's best pick Waller. Yeah, I liked Waller. I wanted to get him. Got him at 69, being ADP of 62. Andrew's worst pick was Cooks. Yeah, might agree with that one. But I don't know about him. He could be really good. Yeah, I really don't have an opinion on Brandon Cooks this year. Let's see, Galigo's worst and best pick. Judge Judy's draft. A B minus performance that will have them pleading the fifth. Yeah, so Yahoo must like I actually understand our team names then. So seventh pick with 22 rounds to make their case. They managed to secure a B minus grade, 8-6. I think Galigo's best pick was Dallas Goddard. Best pick came at 67 when they snagged Dallas Goddard, who had an ADP of 56. Damn, okay. That's really good. Galigo's worst pick was George Pickens. Let's see. 74 Pickens had an ADP of 97. Now, he could be boom or bust too. I think a couple people were looking at him. I think Brett might have been looking at him. I think Evan was looking at him. So Galigo pulled the trigger and said, fuck it. You know, if Deontay Johnson's not catching touchdowns, he's gonna. So I don't think that's really that bad of a pick, especially with the keepers. So round 8. Let's go to Ethan's. Ethan's expert team, a C minus draft for a fifth place finish. They're truly living up to their name. Okay. Well, obviously they can't say Ethan's team then. Ethan's best draft pick was Cam Akers. I really thought Brett was going to take him instead of Connor. I'm surprised Brett didn't take him seriously. Cam Akers, who was drafted at 64, beating their ADP of 53 up. And Ethan's worst pick is Zay Flowers. Could be a huge boom this year in that offense if it's healthy. On the other hand, their worst pick was Zay Flowers, who was drafted at 84, way above the ADP of 125. Now, I do think Ethan might have been able to wait a round or two to draft him, but I think eventually people were going to take him. I think Brett might have taken him. So, pull the trigger. So, Nihil, let's see. McAfrican Americans draft their way to mediocrity and road to glory. Best pick, Evan Ingram. I like that pick. I was going to pick him if you didn't. I was pissed when you picked him. Pick at 98, ADP 77. That's pretty good. Um, I think tight ends people waited a lot longer this year for tight ends, myself included. Worst pick came at 63, where they selected Cortland Sutton despite his ADP of 126. However, as of right now, he is wide receiver one, so that might not matter about being the worst pick. Could end up being your best pick if he's wide receiver one and goes off with Russ. So, Evan, hail the Kings draft, a royal misfire in the Road to Glory draft. Hail the King took their shot at fantasy greatness from the fifth spot in the draft order. Unfortunately, their draft grade of D plus suggests that their crown may be a bit tarnished. Seems like a kingdom may not be as glorious as they had hoped. Damn. One of the best highlights was Kyle Pitts at pick 65, considering his ADP of 61. Worst pick, Rashad Bateman. I don't like him at all. No offense. selection at 96 above his ADP of 126. Well, it's because they have Odell and Zay Flowers, so I don't know what they're gonna do with him. These captions are kind of funny. But Evan had a really good draft regardless, so Brett, Andrew Dalton Kincaid's draft, a comedy of errors. Let's see. D minus draft grade projects to finish ninth with a record of 3-11. Damn, Brett. Brett's best pick, Miles Sanders, pick at 75, ADP of 53. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the lead back. Can the O line protect? They've looked awful in the offseason, but he's going to get more touches than he did in Philly. Even though he had a really good year last year, he's just going to have more opportunity this year to get touches. Worst pick, Quentin Johnson. I'm going to disagree with that one too. 86, 127. I mean, he's a big he's a big receiver. Good offense. The offense could explode this year. I like the pick. I'm gonna ignore that, but I like the pick. The rookies are gonna be good this year. So last we have McGill with an F draft grade. Trust the process, trust the wrong process. Damn, McGill. Draft grade F and projected finish in the basement. Damn. Trust the process had high hopes going into the draft, but unfortunately, their performance left a lot to be desired. Seems like they might have trusted the wrong process. Damn. Yahoo roasting out here. Despite having the second pick in the draft, they struggled and are projected to achieve a dismal 1-13 record. That's harsh. Best pick, Mark Andrews. I agree. If he was there, I was taking him. Pick at 39, ADP of 32. McGill's worst pick, Sky Moore. Drifted 99, ADP of 126. He could, him and Tony both are going to fight for a wide receiver one with Mahomes. So receivers in a Patrick Mahomes offense should do good. So I'm not mad about that one either. So I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to make my. It's tough. I'm going to get a lot of hate. I'm going to get a lot of hate for what I think. I just want to look at the teams. I'm going to do my top three. So, top three. Just looking. I like Japes. Top three, I like Japes. No order, just the three teams that I like. You know, solid receiving core, Adams, Amon-Ra, two really good running backs, a good quarterback. Got some help, Pacheco, Evans. Lacking a tight end, but is what it is. This is tough. Fuck. Like, this is tough, dude. Fuck. I mean, Galego's got three fucking stud receivers. Stud receivers. Running backs are boomer bust. Herbert's good. Three stud receivers in a PPR league. and the receivers can win it for you too. I really like Evans' team too. Henry, Waddle, Ridley Wilson, Lamar. I like Ethan's team too. Eckler and Pollard he has. He's got Mahomes. He's got DK and Amari Cooper. He's got a really good tight end. Ayuk played really well with Purdy. I'm gonna do we'll do who I think are gonna be the playoff teams. I think that's fair because it opens it up a little more for me. So I think I'm gonna be a playoff team this year. I would hope. I feel like I have a good balanced team. I got Jamar, I got Barkley, I got my good receiver, I got my good running back, I got a stud QB, got a decent RB2, I got a wide receiver one, a good receiver when healthy, and a really good offense. If Dalvin Cook is healthy, I have the best two defenses, I think, the best kicker. You know, I don't know. I hope I'm gonna say I'm gonna be a playoff team. I think Chiefs is gonna be a playoff team. I said that. So those two. I think Evan's gonna be a playoff team. He's got Henry. So good RB1. Dobbins, if he's healthy, could be good. But Waddle, Ridley, and Garrett Wilson are three stud receivers, I think, with Lamar. So put that together. I like that. Jordan Addison could be a stud. Even London's not bad. Pitts, we don't know about yet. So I like Evan. It's hard for me to say Gallego. I like Gallego, so it's hard to pass up all three wide receiver ones. Diggs with Josh Allen, H. Brown with Hurts, Tyreek in Miami is still Tyreek. Justin Herbert's a stud. Goddard's a good enough tight end where he can hold it down. I still like Dallas's defense. I mean, it's hard. I would be shocked if he didn't make the playoffs with three receivers like that. So I'm gonna go with Gallego. So that's four. I'm gonna go with Ethan. Um, Eckler and Pollard is probably the best running back duo, I would say, tandem. So two really good running backs. Ethan's got Mahomes. He's got the best QB. So, and he's got a wide receiver one in Metcalf. He's got a wide receiver one with Amari Cooper. And Deshaun Watson has looked okay. Like he's looked kind of good. I thought he played well against Kansas City from what I watched. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I like Amari Cooper. Hawkinson's going to be one of the best tight ends. Ayuk played really well with Purdy. Baltimore's going to be a good defense. They open up in Houston as well. Not that that matters, like in the long run, but Cam Akers is a good backup. Jahan Dotson could be wide receiver one if McLaurin's out. So I think having the best quarterback, Eckler and Pollard, I'm gonna put Ethan as a playoff team, which then leaves. This is a tough one too. Dude, this is tough. All the teams are good. Every team's good. Like every team could easily make the playoffs. You guys wanted me to do this though. You guys kept asking me who's the best team. I can't give you a best team. I think all the teams are good. So fuck you guys. Fuck you. You guys like me to do this. You can put me on blast after. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Like Brett's team could be good too. Like Cooper Cup if he's healthy. Devontae Smith hurts. I don't know about Najee, but you know, Connor is like the only running back. Judy, like Judy's out, so it's like that's tough too to judge. Oh fuck. I gotta look at something. I think I'm gonna say Andrew because when I look at Mirando, you know, I think Fields and Lawrence are very. I don't know. Fields and Lawrence is hard to judge. Fields really good running QB. I wouldn't be surprised if he had more fantasy points. Obviously, I like Jefferson more than Lamb. Obviously, Kelsey's not even like close to, but I like Jacobs because now he's signed with them. But I do like Andrew's receiving core better than Miranda's, and that's kind of like the make or break for me. I think Waller's going to be good. Obviously, he's nowhere near Kelsey, never will be, ever. But my concern is Terry McLaurin. Um, he's my concern right now, just because I don't know if he's playing in week one. Apparently, they said that the injury could linger. Um, and I don't know about Sam Howell. That's honestly, Miranda, that's just my one make or break for you is McLaurin. But it literally all could change if Michael Thomas is freaking back to normal self. Like seriously, if Michael Thomas is like healthy and he plays well, he could easily be one of the top receivers, I think. But I'm gonna base it off of McLaurin going into this year. Like look at Kamara. If Kamara's I know Kamara kind of stunk last year, but once this suspension's over, I think anything could happen. But I think McLaurin and it's hard to judge right now with the injury, and I think Kamara I can't really judge until after the suspension. You know, if you play the long run and he comes back, I think I like Andrews' receiving core a little more. You know, I like Jefferson. Obviously, Keenan Allen's a risk. Apparently all the Charger receivers are risks now. But once he came back last year, he was good. You know, I don't know. Like Debo's kind of like hit or miss too. But obviously, I take him over McLaurin just because of health right now at this second. But I mean, it's so tough. Like Brett's team, like it's tough. Even like look at McCaffrey. If Jonathan Taylor signs with a team or he's healthy, this could be a whole different story. If Brees Hall's healthy, like whole different story. It's just I'm going with the teams that I think have the least amount of like question marks. Like if Jonathan Taylor gets traded, if Brees Hall's healthy, if Bijan's rookie, I don't know yet. Could be a fucking stud, which I think he's gonna be. You know, even Brett, like, can Cup stay healthy? Can Najee bounce back from last year? Like, is Jerry Judy? What is he gonna do once he's back? Can Miles Sanders play behind a awful line? You know, can James Conner carry this whole offense without Kyler and score? Like, it's tough. Like, can J.K. Dobbins stay healthy? Like, can Kyle Pitts actually do something in fantasy for once? I mean, look at my team. Like, can Aaron Jones be consistent? Can Mike Williams stay healthy? But I don't know, man. Can Kittle stay healthy? Like, what, like, but I could say that for every team. Can Keenan Allen stay healthy? Can Waller stay healthy? I think I'm judging Cop a little bit more just because of the offseason, like the hamstring or because if I didn't hear about that hamstring thing, I'd have no problem, like with Cup. But it was like the hamstring of the groin injury or like going into this year that's the only reason why I'm questioning him. Wouldn't be questioning him if that never happened, if they weren't talking about that. But like Galigo, like can Javonte Williams stay healthy? Is Kenneth Walker going to take the lead role? I mean, there's a question for every team. Like, it could go on forever. Like, is Burrow going to be healthy? Like, seriously, can Burrow stay healthy? But that's my thought. I think honestly, any team can make the fucking playoffs. The keepers changed the game. It did. The keepers changed the game this year for sure. Keepers changed the game. So I'm gonna have another video next week, obviously for week one. Week one projections. I'll get into that video. I'm not gonna get into it now. That'll be for next week. This one's just based on the draft. Yeah, this year's up for grabs for anyone. Keepers, affected the draft. Yeah, everyone had to be strategic here, so it's gonna be an interesting year for sure. We got what, 12 days till the draft. I mean, not till the draft. 12 days till the season. It's gonna get good. Um, so video next week. I will get that for the projections of week one. So I will make a video for you guys next week. So until then, that is gonna do it.